Charlotte Museum of History's Museum from Home. I'm actually trying my hand at some Facebook Live today, so please forgive any sort of technical difficulties. We're kind of learning along with you guys here. This is actually going to be museum from my home. I'm actually standing in my backyard here because I wanted to give you something fun to do on a beautiful day like today, to get outside and take a look at what's all around us here in the Carolina backcountry. So I'm standing in my backyard with this right here. This is a guide to the Carolina backcountry. And what you can do is you can actually explore in your own backyard, go for a short walk, or check out one of the greenways here in Charlotte and take a look and see if you can find any of the fauna, that's animals, that lived here in the Carolina backcountry. So I'm actually standing here with my own animal in the Carolina backcountry. This is my dog Sammy. He has been introduced to the Carolina backcountry. He is actually not going to be a native animal here, but we did have some really interesting animals that were written about by John Lawson. So in this little guide here, we've gotten you started by talking about the Carolina parakeet. And the Carolina parakeet was to live here. Unfortunately, it no longer does. It was very prized for its beautiful green yellow feathers. And they were really, really important for making ladies' hats in the early 20th century. So unfortunately, the last of the Carolina parakeets went extinct over 100 years ago. Now, I also decided to go take a look at some of the animals in my you can see I'm standing next to a bird feeder here, and you would think that this would be filled with all sorts of birds, but actually it's the squirrel that ends up being the most common animal you're going to find in my backyard here. So I have a little bit here I'm going to tell you about the squirrels. The squirrels here, they're really cute. They've got fluffy little tails, but John Lawson had this. So John Lawson was actually one of the first English explorers to come through this area. He came through in 1701 to 1702, and he wrote about everything he saw. And one of the things he said about the squirrel is he said he has not wings as birds or bats have, there being a fine thin skin covered with hair, as the rest of the parts are. This is the forefeet to the hinder feet, which is extended and holds so much air as buoys him up from one tree to the other, that are greater distances asunder than any other squirrels can reach by jumping or springing. He is made very tame, is an enemy to the cornfield, as all squirrels are, and eats only germinating eye of the grain, which is very sweet. So basically, he noticed that these squirrels are able to leap from tree to tree. He hypothesized that that's because they had so much fur on them, and it gave them sort of a weightless feel. And he also noticed that they tended to come over and say hello, and that they also tended to eat pretty much everything in sight. So that's what I wrote about the eastern gray squirrel. If you want to try your hand at this, you can go to our website and you can download your own guide to the Carolina backcountry. We encourage you to go out and explore your own backyard, go on a short walk, and we hope you're staying safe and healthy. Thank you so much for joining us, and be sure to check back on Friday for your next activity.